see, we're live. I think. Oh,
it's
there we
good.
go. Okay. Perfect.
Hello.
I think we're live.
We're live. We're live. Okay, good. We're making sure our screen was facing the right way.
Yes. We didn't want it to be wrong like it was the first time. So
I'm glad we're good. All right. So welcome to Let's Talk Books Unscripted, episode 35.
Mm-hmm.
So this is our third live episode. We'll be going live every 5 episodes. So
40th episode, we'll be live
if you've
again.
tuned in live, welcome. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
If not,
and if you come on, and we'll be able to, I see a couple of people watching. Definitely comment, say you're here, maybe what you've been reading, but just to also confirm that the comments are working. And
say hi when you get a chance, and so we can see who's all watching. And
we will try to address comments as quickly as we can too. So we'll be like chit chatting, but also trying to keep an eye on the comments and answering questions if you have any. Or just engaging with whatever you're saying. So.
Yeah. So we are actually having red wine tonight
instead of beer,
which is a little odd for us.
Some of our other beverages sometimes.
But we're feeling a little.
We didn't cheers and say welcome to I don't know.
So we're live, so we get a little fancy. You know.
This is a Merlot.
Yeah, it's quite good. It's quite good. Make sure the chat is on. Hold on. If someone wants to leave a comment so I can see the chat, that'd be amazing.
It's normally on automatically.
I just want to make sure here. We're still amateurs here.
It doesn't say.
But comment
it's on.
With what you're drinking and maybe what you're currently reading, because we'd love to hear. We got a big stack of books right by us. We're going to go through those. Some we're reading. Hello, Jennifer. Oh, hello.
Hello, thank you.
Thank you for the comment. Yes.
And confirming
the chat
that
is
the
working.
Chat is on.
We got a large stack of books here we're going to go through. Some we have read, some we just got, a couple we finished, and we're going to talk about our book club book we're doing with our virtual book club, which we'll give more details on once we get to there. And hopefully we'll answer some questions and chit-chat with anyone who wants to answer a question or share what they're reading.
But I guess we will dive right in. These
All right. Carly, hello.
Or Carly? Yeah, let us know how you say that.
Thank you.
But yeah, I grabbed 4 books, not a big haul, but there was another library sale happening last week, or I guess the last one we went to is not a library sale. You're drinking Diet Coke, reading Accountable. Okay, I have not heard of that one, but I'm going to want to go back in the comments later.
DC is always good, yes, for drinking.
Yes. So I guess the last sale we went to was just a regular book sale. But it was like by a particular organization that put it on. Dashka Slater. Is that who it's by? I think is what you had said. But this one, was a library sale. So a local library to us. It was like a 30-minute drive. But I took my youngest with me last week and we checked it out. It was not as impressive as the previous sale we went to. But I still came out with 4 books and they were only $1 each. Paperbacks were.
Yeah.
This is called The Hole We're In by Gabrielle Zevin, who also wrote Tomorrow, and Tomorrow, which we both have not read yet.
Yes.
But because I saw her name on it, I was like, well, we're both interested in that one, and so this one is probably pretty good too. I guess I'm trying to think if this one came before Tomorrow. Oh, wow, okay. This was 2010, actually. I didn't look at that before. It has like a really interesting cover too. So if you've heard of this one, let us know.
Looks good.
But I hadn't heard anything about it. I just recognized the author's name. And then this one's called Kitchens of the Great Midwest by J. Ryan Straddle. We got to meet him earlier this year, I think it was.
Yeah.
And why do I keep blanking on the name of that book? It's like has Supper Club in it, but I can't think of the entire name.
We should have confirmed that.
But yeah, before I came on here.
It wasn't in here, right?
It might not be because this one might have been his first
You're
book.
right, it is. But we did meet him at hello, Madison. Oh, Madame Vader, yes.
Oh yes, I recognize you.
We love you. Thank you for watching. But we did meet this author
Yes.
in the city we live in, which is pretty cool.
There was an author event.
He
we got
came.
to meet him.
He's actually from the Midwest, so that was pretty cool, obviously. Really cool guy, really down to earth.
Something like at the Lakeside Supper Club, something like that.
Saturday night at the Lakeside Supper Club.
There we go. It was going to drive me crazy.
Accountable is a
It's
YA
a YA book. Awesome. Yeah, I do enjoy YA.
Yeah, we love
from time to
any
time.
recommendations, and we'll go back and check some of those out because who doesn't love some book recs like all the time? Because we need more books to read.
Yeah.
We don't, but we do need them. But another one we picked up, so that was all. These are all $1. You know,
Yeah,
paperbacks were $1.
It's not in the best condition, but it was only $1, so I'm like, can't really beat that.
Yeah. It's been
it has
well
been
loved.
well loved. Yes. So yeah, we have I want to say we have all of his books then, because we have another one that we got at the author event, and then yes, I read that Supper Club book in time for the event, so I could at least read, say I read one of his books. And then this one's called One Night on the Island. I really like the cover. I was really intrigued. I will say I did a lot of just cover buying, or well, I shouldn't say a lot. I guess 2 out of my 4 were cover buys because I had never heard of them before. But this is by Josie Silver. I do have another book by her. They talk about it right here on the front. One Day in December. So I have that one on my shelf, which I do plan to read this December finally, because I think I've had it for maybe the last couple of Decembers, or at least last year. So it's time to read that. So
the keyword plan.
And then I think I have another one by her too that is a winter. Oh, look at there's a paint swatch.
Oh, that's a new
here,
one.
So that's kind of cool. I forgot that was in there because I didn't see it in there
nice
actually when I bought it.
Marshmallow Rose. We just did a reel yesterday talking about unusual bookmarks.
So somebody was using. There we go.
There's a good one.
Well, there's my bookmark for this book. Whenever I start reading it.
You won't use that.
One Cottage, Two Strangers, the start of a great love story. So yeah, that looks cute just from the cover alone.
Hi, Oh, it's Nicole. Hey.
Oh, hey.
What's going on, girl? Always good to see you.
Oh, don't be sorry that you're late.
It's only 7 minutes late.
We're not too into it.
We just started. Yes.
And then I picked up The Boy in the Striped Pajamas by John Boyne. I'm not sure. Do you know how to pronounce it?
Boyne. It's gotta be.
Let me know. But this is the 10th anniversary edition of the book. I've obviously heard of this and heard of the movie. I have not seen the movie, and I've not read the book. And if you know, let me know if this would be categorized as middle grade fiction. I mean, now that I'm looking at the print, I would say probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's looks like. But I've heard that I feel like somebody told me they saw the movie and maybe didn't read the book, but that it wrecked them. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I have to be in the right mindset to read this and then watch the movie. But yeah, thought I'd grab this even just for myself for now. And then, if my kids are interested in reading it when they get a little bit older, then we'll have that for them.
Yes, to middle grade.
Yes,
okay.
Middle grade. Yep, that's what I figured.
That looks right. So those are the four pickups. We were hoping to get more. I mean, you took out 40. Wait, you took $20 out. Hi.
Hi.
Read by Zoe.
Thanks
hello.
for tuning in.
She brought $20 with it, so probably pretty confident we were going to find 20 books or 10
well, I didn't
hardcovers.
know if I'd find 20 because I have a friend who had gone to it the day before, and she was like, I only left with 3 books, and she's like, but then again, it was really busy, and so I didn't look as, she said she didn't look as hard as she probably could have, because when you go to those kinds of sales, you have to be ready to dig. You really have to be able to look through the books. And I mean, I probably still could have looked a little closer myself, but I did have my 3-year-old with me, and she was already being really patient. So I was pleased even with a few, but I did have to drive 30 minutes, for it. So yeah.
1,000?
I have not.
Ah.
And it's really sad. Okay, well, I might not be able to do sad right now. Little life update. I know some of you follow on Instagram. But Corey's grandma passed away just over a week ago. Yeah, it was last Saturday, and it was his last living grandparent. So it's just been kind of a sad week. So this is fun to be here with you guys, but we celebrated her life yesterday. But yeah, I'm just kind of being mindful of some of the books I pick up right now, just because if real life is kind of sad, it's just, yeah, it's hard to read, hard to read sad things. So just trying to keep it lighthearted or a thriller or, like those kinds of things.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Yeah, it was difficult, but
she lived a good long life. She was 90.
Yeah, she lived a great life, and we had a great funeral for her yesterday, and it was really cool to see all my cousins. I have a lot of cousins, and they all live in different parts of the United States.
A handful live around here, but not all of them.
And we all got together a couple times this weekend, so that was one of the silver linings of it. But it was just been sad, and we're recovering, and but we're looking forward to doing this live. So this is something fun, and
a bright spot in the last
tomorrow
several
is
days.
Veterans Day, so I do have off work because I work for the government.
Yep.
So that's cool. So another day to
day.
relax, and we're gonna do some reading.
Yes.
I actually read quite a bit today, which is pretty
I got
awesome.
a decent amount of reading in today, and then we're hoping for that tomorrow.
So it's been kind of a tough week, but obviously books make
Books
it better.
really help.
Books.
I have a sweatshirt that says "Books make it better," and I do feel like that is true. But then what else do we got?
I want to talk about a book that I feel like I've been reading like forever, and I've probably shown this on here like 3 or 4 times because I feel like I've been reading it. I haven't really been reading it that long, but it feels like I have been for me. And it is this book by Stephen King, Misery. And I finally have finished it. I actually finished it last week. I finished it last week. And
well, you tried to find. We were gonna pull up the movie too, but we realized we were gonna have to pay for it.
So I wanted to rent a movie and watch it, but like I cannot find a way to rent it. I don't want.
Like you have to buy it.
I don't want to buy it for $15 because I know it's gonna be cheesy and silly, but I want to watch it.
Yeah.
So I gotta like find a way to watch it. Maybe I need like a VHS tape or something. That'd be pretty cool. But I finished this book. I got a lot of thoughts on it. I really do. I found Misery at a secondhand store last week. Oh, that's awesome.
Does it look like this?
There's
or is it a
so
different
many
cover?
editions of this book. This is like
covers.
the new, I think, cover I've seen.
Because we got this at Barnes & Noble.
So the first 100 pages of this book were awesome. I was like, this book's amazing. And then I got stuck in the middle of it. And I got really just out of the book. I kind of lost interest.
And you were reading book club books too.
And then I had to switch over to some book club books. But then the last 100 pages were just amazing. They were just so good. And it did tie the whole book together. If you know the plot line, it's very, very different. It is kind of typical Stephen King writing from what I've heard, very wordy. New subscriber. All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
It looks like yours. Oh, that's awesome. That was
Cool.
That was a good score.
That's a good find then.
I got this from Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, paid a premium for
that.
that.
B&M place. So, but I did really like this book. I am. Yes.
Going back to favorite. See, I like that. I actually said to him today because I've just been really having a hard time with all the different books that I've been trying to read. And I mean, part of it is that I try to read too many at a time. I realize that.
Yeah.
But also that like, it's like I read an excellent book recently and now I feel like I have a book hangover where I'm like, nothing is like living up to the same, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. My expectations or whatever. Yeah. And so Corey surprised me with a lovely edition of Beach Read by Emily Henry, which we do have here in this stack. So I will show that to you when we're done talking about Misery. But yeah, I was talking about how I'm like, maybe I should just read this right away. Because I already, like what you were saying about characters that you already know and love. I already know I like the book. So sometimes you do need to do that. Like you already know. Like nice to revisit the story then. But anyway.
So this was my introduction to Stephen King. This was the first book I read by him. And I did like it. I'm still undecided. I want to give one more book a shot. I think I'm going to read Pet Sematary maybe next year. But a lot of people have just mentioned how wordy he is. And that's definitely true. Which was kind of hard for me. I don't know. I feel like I had a hard time getting into it, especially the middle part, because it was just a lot of plot. And I felt like a lot of it was maybe not super necessary to the storyline. But once I got to the end of the book, it all tied together. And I was like, okay, this was a great book. And I did like it. So I definitely want to give another book a shot. if you have a better recommendation, I know a lot of people have recommendations on Stephen King, but I think I want to read Pet Sematary. I don't know why. That was just one of the books that people are talking about to start when you're getting into Stephen King, because some of his books are very, very, very long. The Shining. Yes, I have heard.
Right?
Yes,
Yep.
Kathy Bates. Yeah, it looks so. Yeah. Every time when I was reading this book, I could see in my head just Kathy Bates playing Annie Wilkes, and it's just terrifying. It's just terrifying.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure she did a good job.
that intimidating. A lot of people have said that to us, that his writing is very intimidating. And I can see why, especially with some of the size of his books and some of the words he uses. He uses a lot of, like, I think, larger words. He is obviously a very, very, very gifted writer. And what's cool about this book, it's actually written about an author. So it's kind of like a book within a book. He's writing a book. Well, he's being forced to write a book while being held captive by Annie Wilkes, who is a little different.
I kind of want to read Carrie, but I've seen the movie. However, I saw it years ago, so I kind of would want to read the book.
Yeah.
If anyone has read Carrie by him, that might be the first one I want to do. Or I really wanted to take on. Now I'm blanking on it. It has like November in it. It's 11. What is it? 63, like 1963. But what's the date in between? I don't remember now. I'm blinking on it. And of course I had I was like, oh, I'm going to read it this November. Huh. Yeah, right. We're already.
That one's gotten a lot of
And that one's, it's really long.
But it's a big
I
one,
have heard really good things about it. So maybe it'll be next November.
I finally made it through it. I'm happy. I'm going to take a break from the Matt and Stephen King and check back next year in October. And then I'll make my decision if I want to keep going with his books, because he's got so many books.
He has a lot of them.
But
yep.
Pretty good. I read Pet Sematary a bazillion years ago in college. Ooh, where's
Salem's
Lot.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome.
11/22?
11/22/63.
Right. I was like,
thank you. That's
what
it.
date is it?
Stand by Me.
Okay.
Ooh.
Based on the body. All right. Yeah, he has so many. There's so many that I haven't even heard of.
Really cool.
Let's actually show that book, because I was talking about it.
Yeah, well,
All right. So yeah, Corey very generously surprised me with this, because I do have the original paperback copy of Beach Read by Emily Henry. She's one of my favorite authors, and this book is absolutely stunning. So I'm going to be doing a reread, and I think I'll do it sooner rather than later, because I did love this book. So I will read this copy. It won't just be for my shelf. The back of it says, when the world felt dark and scary, love could whisk you off to go dancing. Laughter could take some of the pain away. Beauty could punch holes in your fear. So it's one of the quotes from the book. But yeah, I'll take off this outer part too. It's really pretty. It's the inside of it.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous sunset. How pretty is that? And then
amazing.
The yellow is really happy and nice too. It says, I feel overwhelmed that you exist. That was one of the lines too. Oh, that's cute. Written by Emily Henry.
Oh, by Stephen King's son, yeah.
Oh, yes. My really good friend has recommended that book to me, but she was like, be prepared. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he's written a couple books, I heard. That's pretty cool that his son took after him and started writing.
Joe Hill, is that right?
Started writing some horror. That's cool.
So yes, this is total opposite of Stephen King, but I'm obsessed with it.
You're gonna read it not during beach season?
I know. I might have to read it in the dead of winter.
Are you feeling okay?
I don't know. I might not be feeling okay. I just need something happy, and I don't know. Not that doesn't have some deep stuff in it too, which is another reason I love Emily Henry, because it's not all sunshine and roses.
That's true. That's true.
But they are. Well, I actually don't even know if you'd call them rom-coms. I do think it falls into that contemporary fiction category, or contemporary romance. Sorry, but
so
what do we want to move on?
So I actually started 2 books this week, which is pretty cool. Now that I finished that Misery book, I started 2 books this week, and the first one I've talked about quite a bit. But it's this book by Donna Tartt, The Secret History. So I was kind of going back and forth between this one and The Goldfinch for quite a while, and this was the one that was kind of the definitive winner between myself and everyone on Instagram. But I just started. I'm not too far in, but I'm already very hooked. This book is a little intimidating to me, just because it doesn't look long, but it is over 500 pages.
Well, it's because the print is
and
really
the
tiny.
print is very, very, very small. It's hard to see, but it's very small. But I'm already very intrigued by it. I think it's going to be great. I mean, she is like I can already tell just how poetic she is as a writer, and I've heard a lot of good things about this book. This may be one I go through slowly because I'm going to be kind of going around other books. But this is one I'm going to be picking up when I have the time to read it, because I've been wanting to read it for a while. And I personally have not heard a lot of bad things. I mean, there has been a few people who said it wasn't for them. But every time I hop onto the socials, people are talking about this book and how much they liked it. So I'm very happy. But-
April. Oh, okay.
So
I haven't heard of the person that you just said. Maybe they are related.
So I will update as I get going, but I think on Goodreads I'm 2% done. So things are flying. But I
Not
just
very far.
I just started it, but I'm already very, very intrigued by it. If you read this one, please
April
let me know and reassure my decision to start reading it. So it'll help me get through it. But this will be a slow one. I for sure know that, just based on the pacing and how the book is, and I'm going to be mixing in other books, which is pretty normal for us.
A book that I am finally going, speaking of reading books slowly, although I wouldn't say this has like taken me forever by any means, but it kind of feels like it. Cause I don't know, on average, I feel like I finish a book per week, or like, sometimes I'll finish off like 2 in a week, So I just feel like this month has been slow for me. But it's okay. It's not ever a race, and we've had some life things happening, and so it's just like, I feel like by the time I get a chance to read at night, I'm actually more tired than I normally am, so I haven't really been able to like read very much. But this is how much I have left in Given Our History. Lovely cover, but I was telling Corey earlier tonight that this is one where I'm like, I think I was really obsessed with the cover, and now I'm not so obsessed with the story. But I mean, I've obviously been interested in it enough to keep reading. It was not like DNF for me or anything. But I've just had a really hard time connecting with the characters, and I'm just kind of like meh about them. So unless something groundbreaking happens in this last little sliver of the book, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. But it's got a gorgeous cover for fall. That's for sure. This is told in like dual timelines, and I find myself liking the like flashback timelines more than the present. So I feel like I like when they go back to like when they were younger and like becoming friends and like stuff like that. So it's like a friends to lovers, like second chance romance kind of thing. And yeah, by Kristen J. Miller. I had never heard of her before. I'll be honest, I was really just 100% enamored by the cover, and I love fall. So that's what, got me interested in the book in the first place. But I feel like now that I'm saying it, I probably like won't be able to finish it tonight, because I'm going to be like, oh, I'm going to do it. And so we will see. But either way, I might finish it tonight, or it might be like having to finish up a little bit of it tomorrow during the day. But either way, I'm really excited to like finish a book, because I feel like it's been a little while.
That's good. All right, so I'll talk. This next one I'm going to show is our book club pick for this month in our virtual book club. I know, Nicole, you're in our book club, on virtual book club, but there's still time to join if you want to join on the book club. We do meet on Google Meet. Sometimes crazy things bring us to,
Yes.
That's the truth. I mean, everything brings us to books too.
Everything.
So that's good. But so if you want to check out our virtual book club, get a hold of Katie on any of the socials. We can hook you up with our Instagram chat we have. And we do meet on Google Meet. Our meeting this month will be November 24th.
Yep, Sunday.
And the book we're reading this month is The Lost Story by Meg Schaefer. Look how nice that book is. This is a beauty.
So pretty.
So I started this book yesterday. I'm already 50 pages in. And I was telling Katie, I'm like, this book is like, chef's kiss so far. Like I'm really liking it.
Because I'm excited. Then we're gonna have to go like dual bookmarks in this one, like we did for we used to live
we go
here,
dueling
which
bookmarks.
was our one from last month.
But this book is fantasy. You know, it's got a lot of ties and comparisons to the Chronicles of Narnia. I read an arc. Oh yes, of this one. Yes. It's so beautiful. But yeah, it's very interesting. I'm really liking it. And fantasy's not my thing. I think this will be a good introduction to fantasy. I've gotten a little bit like magical realism stuff, but not like full-blown fantasy yet. And I am intrigued, but this will be a good introduction to fantasy. But it's also, what's neat about it, it's also kind of a mystery, which I love the mystery. So that's the part I'm really, really intrigued by. There's not many characters yet, and they're about to enter the fantasy forest. So that's when things might get interesting. Like one of the characters says, it's like, just so you know, things are about to get weird. And she's like, okay. So we're going to find out. Things are going to get weird. Okay. So I just started it. Katie has not read it.
I'm going to start it pretty soon. Yep.
But the pacing's real fast. It's about 315 pages, so nothing crazy. It's a really good book club book. So check it out if you want to join. Let us know.
Yep. Because that's what? 2 weeks from today?
Yeah, you could crank it out, no problem.
Yep.
What do we got?
All right, the rest.
We got some new books we got this week from
Aardvark and Book of the Month.
The book club.
So first up are the Aardvark books. And I'm going to tell you right now, they need to start letting us pick more than 3 some months. But
that one looks interesting.
The Lost Story, yeah. I guess that would be the one you're talking about, because I haven't shown these yet. Some months I'm like fine with only like 1, 2, or 3 choices.
What wine are you enjoying? Oh, thank you.
It's a Merlot. I don't know the brand or the name of I don't know what it is. It's a wine we've never had before. Got it at Costco.
It's from Boggle, California wine.
Or is it Bogle? I don't know.
Boggle. California Vineyards. It was from Costco. So we like wine. We're not really big wine snobs. I was a little surprised you got a Merlot, but
I think I wanted to get a Malbec, and I was like so distracted when I was with Annalie that I was just like looking at the M, and so I was like, I got home and I'm like, oh, I got a Merlot. All right.
Remarkably Bright Creatures. Okay.
Oh, I'm glad you loved it, because that was one that I was kind of like about, and I feel sad saying that.
Recognize that name. Okay, thank you.
But I also listened to Remarkably Bright Creatures on audio, so I don't know if maybe my experience would have been better if I read it physically.
I love wine voice. Yeah, thank you. If you Aldi.
Yes.
Waking Aldi, yes.
Heard of that.
Yeah, we love. We do have many Aldis near us. We're in Wisconsin.
Yeah. We've got
we've definitely had some owl.
I think probably from my mom. I don't know if we've ever bought it.
It's only a couple dollars, right? Yeah, we're not big. We're more of the beer snobs. Yeah. And the wine's like, if it tastes good.
I mean, yeah, we wouldn't be able to tell the difference between like a $20 bottle of wine and like a $7 bottle of wine, really.
If it tastes winey.
Yeah. Like, all right,
I'm not going to be whining. Yes, it's good. Yes, this is good.
But yeah, these... let's see.
Remarkably Bright.
Oh, a peach wine. Okay. And you loved Remarkably Bright Creatures too. I don't know what was wrong with me. I might have just been in the wrong headspace for it. And again, maybe I shouldn't have listened to it on audio, because I could have been distracted too while I was listening to some of it. Normally I do okay on audiobooks, but I've been kind of sprinkling in some fiction on audio, which is good depending on the book.
Where can you get that? Yeah, our sister-in-law loved Remarkably Bright Creatures, right? Like, that was one of her favorite books of the year.
She was like about ready to disown me when she found out that I felt kind of indifferent towards it. But I'm actually really excited for the movie. I heard that it's going to be a movie, and maybe this will be one of the instances where I like the movie more. I don't know, because normally that's not the case. I'm normally the proponent for the book is always better, but
not always.
Not always.
There's been a few times.
I think it was just that I found it a bit slow. Maybe that was my problem. I think that's like kind of what I've been having issues with lately, is that I need a book that's like more fast paced and like, yeah.
We've talked about it a lot. It's like not every book is for every person. And that's why books are so amazing. I'm sure I'm in
the minority on that particular book.
You know, I've loved books that Katie hasn't liked, vice versa. And like,
Yeah.
That's why they're amazing. They're like movies.
Because there's like a
The
book for
grocery
everyone.
store summon most things. Okay. Whoa.
Nice.
Thank you for the
Keep
wine
that in mind.
recommendation. Yes, I love it.
Yeah, books, wine, beer, whatever
coffee.
recommendations, movie recommendations, we would take it all.
TV shows.
Yeah.
Yes, to being in the right headspace.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very true.
It can really change
mood
whether
reading
you
is
like it or not in
just
that
a
particular
real
time. Yep.
epidemic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like right now we're kind of in a sorrowful mood, so we want to read happy books or like exciting books.
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be happy, but like not
Maybe
something
no
that's
death,
like super. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But these are the ones that we picked from Aardvark. I did include the link to check them out in the description of this video, and you can get one of these or one of their other 3 choices. So they do 6 choices every month, but you could get one of them for only $4 if you're new to them.
Massive
mood reader.
Yes, welcome to the club.
Same.
Samesies, yes.
But yeah, you can try them for just $4. And that's the price is only if you are a U.S. Resident, though. So, but they do ship to Canada as well. They're a Canadian company, actually, so that's kind of cool. I don't think everybody knows that. But yeah, these are the 3 that we picked out. This one is called Like Mother, Like Mother. I've heard some like advanced praise for this one. This is by Susan Rieger. I've not heard of her before. That's actually one of the things I love about Aardvark is that like they bring to light some authors that like maybe you wouldn't have otherwise heard of.
I want to read that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good. It's like it's a family drama. What did they describe it as? An enthralling multi-generational family saga about strong-willed women whose lives are unknowingly shaped by the secrets buried in their pasts. So it's like historical fiction. I don't know what else they would categorize it as, but and like
we always like to show off
stunning too.
Their naked books, but like we love and then the binding of these.
And they're like super soft, like this and this part. It's like super soft.
Aardvark just has really high quality is books,
amazing.
And if you can get one of these books, your first month for $4,
that's like an incredible deal.
That is amazing.
And shipping is always free, and then you can add on books for only $9.99. So, and then a lot of people will ask what the regular price is. So if you get it for $4, obviously that does not continue. But then it's like what, $17.99, or it's like probably
$17.99.
And it depends on what your tax ends up being, like where you live. Aardvark, 1000%.
Yes,
I prefer.
We could ask that up quite a bit.
But we are going to show Book of the Month books.
We do
I have been a member with Book of the Month for a while now, but and I have canceled, and then I've also paused my membership. I have made the decision, and I'm going to stick to it to officially cut ties at the end of this year. And again, it's like nothing personal, nothing against them. I just prefer Aardvark more, and I'm getting to the point where I can't really justify both subscriptions. So what I've kind of been telling people is that if you really like those mainstream books more, like more well-known choices, and you're hoping that Book of the Month will have them, they very likely will. However, I've seen a change in them too, though, where they're not making them their main picks. So they are kind of like changing it up. This is just my perception. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if they're maybe trying to be like Aardvark a little bit because they see them as a competitor, even though a lot of people do subscribe to both. But that then they're making their
better selection.
You know. Yes. Yeah. And again, I think that is all preference, because some people maybe don't like the more obscure options that Aardvark provides, but I do, because I have read authors that I wouldn't have otherwise probably stumbled across on my own necessarily.
Yeah.
You know, like
I think when you join a subscription, like for a while I was part of a beer subscription or like a coffee subscription. You want to like subscribe to something where you can get things that you maybe not familiar with or things you can't find at your local bookstore, or try new things.
Right. I mean, yes, Aardvark, you still can like find your books elsewhere, but I just wonder if it would like take me a little bit longer to discover them. And so I like that they highlight authors that like aren't mainstream.
This month wasn't that great.
Oh, for Book of the Month. Yep. So I I'm trying to think. I feel like maybe they have like a couple times, but that's a good question. Because I've been with Aardvark now for almost 2 years, and I don't know. So I will look into that, because I do know that Book of the Month offers some YA options for sure. But
something we look into for sure.
but yes, whoever commented above that, yeah, with Book of the Month, I haven't been super impressed with their choices overall. I was telling Corey, like, and I'll show you my choices here, but and I am pleased with the main choice I picked, because it does look really good, and it's kind of like Aardvark. I had not heard of it before, so I was like, okay, this looks good. Yeah. But then like ones that
we got the Lost Story from Book of the Month.
We did get the Lost Story, yeah.
That was cool,
But ones that I think should be main choices, they're starting to make them add-ons. So then it's like you have to pick one of the other main choices that maybe aren't as appealing to you, just so that you can get another book. Which is not a bad marketing, like
it's just good business. I can't be mad at that.
Ploy or whatever you're gonna call that. But it is frustrating if you think like they're gonna have a particular book, and then they don't choose it for whatever reason. So, and of course, yes, you can get it elsewhere, just like you can get some of these Aardvark books elsewhere too. But yeah, I've decided I really prefer them more. But that might not be everybody's experience.
They're a similar price point. They both make their social media pretty fun. With like the guessing of the books and stuff. They're both pretty fun, but just personal preference.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit. Okay.
Oh,
sure.
Cool.
Yes, that's probably hard to break out of if that's just like the world that you live in.
Yeah.
but yes, I know Book of the Month for
this
sure
was
has
first
YA.
choice, but you probably have seen this book around the socials, because I know I have.
Yeah.
I mean, we've heard someone said this was their favorite book of the year.
Right.
Or one of them
would be, yeah. And then this one is called Memorials by Richard Chismar.
This
one
looks awesome.
I had not heard of him, but yet he has like quite a few books.
Yeah.
That's like his little...
This one looked real good.
This one's kind of a thicker book. This falls into the horror category, and actually Stephen King gives his stamp of approval on it. I love Richard Chismar. His stories are creepy, eerie, and propulsive. Nobody does suburban horror better. What's the premise for this one? A group of students encounter a supernatural terror while on a road trip through Appalachia in this chilling new novel from the New York Times bestselling author of The Unforgettable and Scary, Chasing the Boogeyman. This takes place in 1983.
Very cool.
Prior to when we were born by a few years.
Let me take its clothes off and take a peek.
Oh yeah, it's a really cool.
Yeah.
I love the purple on it.
I honestly always
so
imagine
pretty.
like some point having a bookshelf
where it's just
that like if you had all these bindings on a bookshelf with the colors, it would look so awesome.
Yeah.
But this one looks.
But also, this is I
just
can't do it.
Everything about it.
But sometimes I like to take them off just when I'm reading the book, so I will at least do that and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy the cover. Another quick thing that I like. Let's compare now that we're doing a comparison between the two. And again, maybe it doesn't bother you. I can't stand this. Like, I'm sorry. This is just obnoxious to me. It like takes up too much of this square.
And it's on the
it's
on
just
the spine
always in
too.
The, it's just I don't like it. Memorials.
Yeah. Some books look better naked.
For sure. But I don't like their but like look at how Aardvark has theirs. Yes, it's still on there. I mean, but it just seems more tasteful to me. It like fits
not on the binding, which is kind of nice.
It fits kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Theme of the book.
Yeah, they kind of put them in strategic places.
It's like different. So for that one, it's down there, but like for this next one, they do have it in the corner. You should find one behind us.
I hate the permanent stickers. Yeah. There is one we have where like they put the Aardvark O like in the O.
Find one where it's actually even more like it's still noticeable, but it's kind of like
let's see, we got
part of
here.
Part of the cover. So yeah, I just don't mind it as much. It just seems more tasteful and it's kind of cute, and so it doesn't really bother me.
We just got this one recently. Look at where the Aardvark. Can you spot the Aardvark?
The placement of it.
It's in the O of world. That's just amazing.
So that's just kind of fun.
Yeah. So they're just kind of a fun company. They're kind of newer.
They're really fun to interact with. Like I legit chat back and forth with them on Instagram, and I understand that they're smaller, so they like have the ability to do that. I don't want to like slam Book of the Month for that because I know they're a much bigger company, but it's just fun to like have that personal like interaction with them, and they even interact with the stuff that I share, which is pretty cool.
Aardvark is more subtle. Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
But this one is called Perfect Fit by Claire Gilmore. They also had a different one come out by her that I didn't pick.
Match the color and try to make it blend. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
100%.
So I did not pick a different one by her. I don't remember when it would have been. Probably like a year ago-ish, you know, around this time, if the author kind of does a book a year, comes out with a book a year. So I might want to revisit that one if I really end up enjoying this one. Try Love On for size. Yeah, Perfect Fit. It doesn't have like a short little like blurb about it, but it does look cute. A sweetly effervescent book about love and friendship, the challenges of finding your place in the world, and the joy of staying true to yourself. Yeah, looks cute. Yeah. It's like a workplace romance.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah, we gotta show it without the...
Let's take off the jacket. Or the book brassiere, I call it.
That too.
Perfect fit.
Dust jacket.
Yeah, it's got the pink with the...
Is what it's technically called.
Dust jacket.
Yeah.
But
it's
yeah,
like an orange with
But couldn't
maroon.
you imagine like a bookshelf just lined with these? It would look like...
Very aesthetically pleasing.
Yes, that would be very beautiful. I mean, all books are beautiful, but... So those are the three from
We're big
Aardvark.
Aardvark fans, if you haven't figured that out yet. So,
yes. Katie wants me to, well, actually did sign up. Now, Katie wants me to sign up so we could like we could get all 6
then
books.
we get all 6 books.
Every month.
If we wanted, or at least more than 3.
But what's nice is you can go back, like she said, you couldn't go back and add on any book from the past.
You can.
If they're available.
Then that is one sad.
If they're available, yes.
One downside, I would say, with them being like a smaller company and stuff, they only get like a certain amount of books, and when they're gone, they're gone. However, there have been times where they've been able to get like more stock and they bring them back. But yeah, so sometimes it's like a book that you got a while ago, you really can't go back on and get it. Or I mean, or I should say, like, if there was a book that you were interested in, you didn't get it when it first became available, and then you wait, there is a chance it won't be available. But
and they have started doing like some autographed
editions. So that's pretty cool. They have
and,
some signed. One of the ones I picked out recently is called So Thirsty by Rachel Harrison, and I got a signed copy of that.
That was pretty
one,
cool.
So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
So let's move on to book of the month. We got 2 books this month. I mean, one of them you did really want.
I was very excited.
One of them you did really want. So that was a score.
But like I said, they did not have it as one of their main picks, and I thought that was a little ridiculous. Like, I'm just like, come on, this was like a very...
Tell them the negative about the book, though, how it doesn't match.
I know,
let's get into that a little bit.
So I'm a little sad that...
You're reading.
I'm gonna take the jackets off. We did display them. Nice! They love that.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Yeah. That's
I say that, but I don't think we'd ever do it.
I've heard of people doing that when they're done. Like they just do away with it once they're done. So they put their done books on the shelf, their finished books, and then they're naked.
Like, are you someone who reads without the dust jacket on? I know a lot of people will take it off while they're reading.
And then put it back on.
I mean, you kind of go...
I have done that when it starts to annoy me. Like, if it starts just, like, moving up and down, and I do it, because I read a lot of hardcover books, so, like, it does start to annoy me sometimes. But here, let's do a comparison. This book, I'm sorry. It's like, I do like the color scheme. I do like the pink and the yellow. Yeah. But they've got their logo there again. It looks almost like a book that belongs in like a I don't know, like a university library or something like that. Like it's like a school book or textbook.
The bindings aren't as
and it's not
attractive.
Soft, and I don't know. So I'm like, nope, I'll keep the dust jacket on this one while I read it. But this is She Really Going Out With Him by Sophie Cousins.
So don't take the jacket off? Yeah. I prefer a soft cover or a paperback. I hate the spine.
Oh, I just can't.
Yeah, it's such like a weird petty. It's like
is.
A petty
Maybe
thing.
some people don't care,
but like once you see an aardvark spine,
I'm just like, they're gorgeous. So
change
speaking
your life.
of, I was very disappointed that Aardvark did not get this one, because a year ago they got The Good Part by her, and that was my introduction to Sophie Cousins, and I still rave about that book. Like, I need to reread it
top
because
10 probably.
Like ever. Yeah, it was one of my very top reads from last year. I think it was my number 2. Like, it was right behind Abby Jimenez for last year. So I was kind of sad. I don't know why they didn't get it. Like Book of the Month must have just scooped in before they could to get it, because I'm sure they wanted it. Because yeah, the good part is so good. So I'm very excited for this one. I do have a couple more books that I plan to start, and I'm already reading some before I get to this. But I don't think I'll wait too long because I loved the good part so much. Is she really going out with him? Yeah, it's about a divorced mom, and I guess her kids kind of like come up with these like suitors for her to date. So it just has like a funny, cute premise.
Romantic.
Like lighthearted. It's a second
book.
chance at love. Yeah. Husband didn't die, so it makes it a little, I mean, not that divorce is great either, but I feel like if it's like a death, it's a little bit more sad. But yeah, so we'll see.
I just always start singing the song when is she really going out?
Yeah.
If you know. But what she's saying is now her books
now
don't
my books
match.
Won't match either.
Like she's really picky. I'm starting to get that way too, which is weird. But she's really picky. She likes.
I'm sad that it's not an aardvark.
If it's like a series of books, they should all match.
But then again, I have a couple more of hers that are paperback books.
Yeah.
So they already kind of.
So yeah, guys, it's fine with this one.
It's okay.
But
I'll get
going
over it.
further. So the next one for Book of the Month. This was your main pick, right?
Yes, and it was one I've never heard of before.
The Teller of Small Fortunes.
It's got a very pretty cover.
This one does look pretty amazing.
This is fantasy.
Yeah, which is always nice. A wandering fortune teller finds an unexpected family in this warm and wonderful debut fantasy. Yeah, so
it's a found family type
Yeah.
story, and I've heard it described that it has similar vibes to the Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. That's a very long title.
Yeah.
But I read that one last year with my in-person book club, and it was delightful. So if it's anything like that, then I'm sure I will enjoy it for sure.
Yeah. Let's just show it naked since we're doing that. But,
Yeah, even though it's not as exciting.
I mean, the colors are very
colors
beautiful.
are cool.
I mean, that's like, I don't know.
The color scheme.
Is that like Chicago Bears
I was
colors,
gonna say, it
though?
kind of looks like bears, though, and we're Packers.
We're in Packers country, so that's weird, but...
But, you know, it's still kind of a cool combo.
House in the Cerulean Sea.
Yes.
We just found that one. In paperback,
That is going to be the next one I read by him, because we both really enjoyed In the Lives
We
of
found that at a
Puppets.
thrift store a couple weeks
That
ago.
was a good score.
I think for $1, and it was like
It's in really
perfect.
good condition.
We read In the Lives of Puppets for our in-person book club.
Oh, you loved it on audio. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a combo of audio and reading the physical book, because that's what I did for In the Lives of Puppets. And we both
the
really
audio
liked
for
the
that
audio.
book was like amazing. Like, I mean, he's
excellent.
very gifted, and he reads that one too, right? I think the same.
I think he reads all of his, probably, right? The same narrator.
That was a fun book. Yeah, the house. Yeah, the House in the Cerulean Sea.
That'll be my next. And then of course I know he just came out with the sequel.
The guy
for
who
that.
reads. Yeah.
Yes, I know he does like all the.
That
the
was
voices.
amazing. I was blown away, like just how he could change his voice, especially for In the Lives of Puppets with all the robots, the robotic voices. I mean, I couldn't.
That book had me like cracking up in some parts.
They were funny. He's an excellent author for sure. So that we did find that one. I was very pleased. I mean, if you ever go to thrift shops, I don't know if you go shopping at thrift stores, and like,
Oh, you're struggling with it.
sorry.
Bummer.
yeah,
How far
Yeah,
into it are you?
once you get it definitely really picks up. Like I'd say in the middle. Once they kind
Takes
of
a little bit.
Yeah. So definitely try to give it a whirl, but we thought it was great. But shopping at thrift stores, if you have any, I mean, it's like it's so fun. It's so fun.
You can really find some gems. I don't know.
Like I think I don't have to look. I think there is some website where you can like find used book sales. We gotta find it because we found some really good sales recently. Like the one we went to a couple weeks ago, where we ended up getting 22 books.
Green Creek series. I have not.
I think I need to read Not Super Fun.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to like switch to the physical book? Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying? Yeah, I did a combo of both, and sometimes for certain
We both
books,
did, yeah.
I really enjoy that experience because it's like what I would do is during the day if I really I needed to be productive and I need to get chores done and stuff like that, then I'll listen. But then at night, you know, after the kids go to bed and we're having time reading, then I'll switch to the physical. And like it doesn't work for for every book maybe, but I did like doing that for that book.
Yeah. That's what's that called? Immersion reading? What's that called?
Immersive.
Immersive reading. Well, you listen to it while you read the book.
Right. I have not done that.
I know,
but no, I've done the like going back and forth between the two.
I loved it.
Oh, the werewolves one. Yes. I've seen his books for sure. Like
Isn't
seen
there
the covers.
Like
and,
3 in the series or something? Yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably want to go back and read.
Yeah, after reading In the Lives of
all
Puppets,
his
we're
books
very
eventually.
we're
but,
very intrigued by
Mhm.
his writing and his stories because that was just fabulous.
Mhm. Yeah, it was very good.
But
yeah, let us know what you're currently reading.
yeah, that's what
What
we
you're
have to
excited read.
show.
I think that's what we have to show.
We got a ton of books.
Mhm.
If you can see behind me, there's a shelf. Behind Katie, there's a
You
shelf.
Can't really. If I move my chair.
We
nope,
just
you
got
can
these
only see
lighted
if you-
bookshelves. Something you enjoy.
Yeah.
It's I am very interesting because I was actually downstairs reading earlier today, and the kids were watching TV over here, and I was just having such a hard time focusing. And I'm usually not that way, but I could imagine just being in the zone, in the ears, while reading it. I think that would be like the best way to intake a book.
Well, I think I don't know if I said this on a previous episode. I don't know. Or maybe I was just telling you, but I feel like I do that. It's my own form of doing it without listening to the audio, but it's where I will listen to myself read it. I will read it out loud. And it's because I feel like my brain is distracted for whatever reason, or like my daughter's playing in the other room and kind of having her like quiet time, and I'm trying to have my quiet time. You can't focus at all on audio. Yeah, that's what I hear a lot of people say.
Yeah.
You really have to be, I don't know, like you have to be in the zone. I guess for me, I have to be doing very mindless tasks. Like for me, folding laundry, I don't have to put much thought into that. So I feel like I can totally listen to like what I'm,
Like I think it's best if you like have AirPods in where like the rest of the world is drowned out.
And of course I can't do that when I'm home with my daughter. So like I have to I'll sometimes do like one AirPod and then my other ears if she needs something or like I need to respond to her or something. But I love like solo walks or solo errands where I can have both of them in, and it is like delightful.
It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm that was the first time I ever really listened to a book. And I actually did it while I was working, which was kind of fun, which was kind of nice. But yeah, I don't think it's really going to be for me.
Yeah.
While I'm working.
Any other time you struggle with that?
It's true.
Yeah.
Usually when I work now, I actually do listen to like talk radio, which is kind of weird.
So that would be similar to an audiobook.
But
you should try another audiobook.
The thing with audiobooks is like you got to listen to everything. Like talk radio, like if I zone out or like I'm running to do something,
That's why I typically choose nonfiction for audio. Again, not that I think like, oh, it's fine if I miss a big chunk of it, but if I miss a few sentences or something like that, like I'll still get the gist of the topic, like versus, yes, you could miss a major plot point if you zone out or you really can't like listen at that time for like a fiction book. But I have started to do more fiction on audio, just depending on the book. But yeah, I do typically prefer nonfiction on audio and fiction, physical books, or
definitely
on
personal
a
preference.
Yeah.
But yeah, for our book club, I know some people read them, some people listen.
Memoirs on audio, same.
Having a hard time focusing. Okay,
Sometimes
that makes sense.
switching to the audio does really help.
It's just something different. That's why it's kind of, like what she said. It's very neat to do both. Because, I mean, we
get
were
both
for our book club with In the Lives of Puppets.
The Longmire books. Okay.
It was kind of funny because a lot of us listened to audio
out.
and other people read it, and the one of the girls was like, "I'm very interested to like what it sounds like," because in your head you always have like idea of like maybe what the character sounds like or what they are kind of like, and she's like, I was very interested to hear what this robot's voice sounded like.
So I think somebody played
so we brought
like
it,
part of the just like a little snippet.
That's why it's interesting to do both, or maybe the immersive reading, or just alternate. But I prefer reading physical. I know you do too, but there's a time and a place for everything.
Yep.
And
to me, chores are much more enjoyable if I can listen to a book while I do them. So, and I mean, yes, there are times in my life where I turn on music instead. I've joked that It's either Taylor Swift or an audiobook, pretty much. Those are my choices most of the time.
What else is there?
But silence is not an option for me, so I'm like,
No, silence is never.
it doesn't work for me.
It's
I
not
think I saw
golden.
something on social media about like, what was it, like the thoughts in my own head? Like, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
The Sherlock Holmes books, okay.
That would be that.
Oh yes, anything with like the full, Daisy Jones and the Six was one that I really enjoyed. I didn't have like sound effects and stuff like that, but I mean it had a full cast. It was like all the different characters, so it was literally different people, not just like one narrator doing different voices and stuff like that. And that's one of my favorite books of all time. So like I read the physical book the first time, and then I listened to it on audio, I think last year maybe. And I loved that one. So yeah, there are certain ones, like if it's an incredible narrator or you get like a full cast.
Yeah. If you
it's
want a
pretty cool.
television series suggestion, that one on Amazon Prime. Very good.
Daisy Jones and the Six.
Yes.
Yeah, that was super good. Yeah, Corey has not.
Whether you've read the book or not, obviously read the book first. But I did not. But the
he
series
did not read the book,
was
but he
so,
liked the show with me.
so good. So good. If you're into like 70s music, it does have some
sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Some thematics,
That's basically
but
what it's about.
it was very entertaining to say the least.
Yep.
But that's it. If anyone have any questions for us, quick, or else we're gonna. But I was gonna say before, like this shelf and the shelf behind Katie, like we actually just got these lighted bookshelves, so they're pretty cool. But all these books are books we have not read.
So we have a lot of work to do.
So we have this thing in our house. We separate our books that are read from unread. We actually have a whole room upstairs. It's kind of a large closet.
Well, we're working on filling up the shelves then with read books.
But
But one of them is completely full.
But that's all the books that we've read are upstairs in their own world.
Except we do have unread books in our bedroom. There's an exception there. There's more unread books in our room, like on different shelves and stuff like that.
Yeah,
those little shelves.
But all the books up there are read, right? Those are all read books. We do have we have bookshelves everywhere. So I'm trying to say they're all unread, but we separate them from read and unread. We have a whole room for unread books. Good Girls Guides to
Oh, on audio. I read that one physically, but yeah, I could see why it would work like that.
But what was the book that you got you into reading? Very nice.
That's a good question. Oh gosh. I mean, I guess I would say going way back to when I was a child. I feel like Corey's probably sick of hearing it, but I've, shared it at different times over social media or whatever. But my dad read the Chronicles of Narnia series to us when we were kids, and I actually have not gone back to like read them as an adult, and I really want to. But I know it's kind of a commitment. And I struggle with series. I do like some series of books, but like it just, it's a commitment no matter how you look at it. And I'm just like, there's so many other books and I just get distracted and, don't want to like commit to it, like just keep reading one series. I like to read other things because I'm a mood reader. But I very much enjoyed those books, like so much. My brothers and I would literally pretend that like Narnia was like under our clawfoot bathtub. We had like a really old house. We lived in a Victorian home at one point, and we would just, our imaginations just like burst, from those stories. And so I will just always really cherish that time that my dad read those books to us. I would say that probably was what got me into like really enjoying stories, And I loved the movies. We watched the movies as a family. And that's why it's cool. I'm excited to start The Lost Story because I've just heard it being compared or saying it's like Narnia for adults. And so I'm really excited.
And they actually already where I'm in, they've already brought up.
Oh, really?
The series.
Okay, that's cool. But it's like reference.
Like both of the main characters like that series and have read it. So that was kind of cool. So it clearly focuses a little bit on that, which is pretty cool. I would,
and then I want you to answer too if you have an answer. But I would say as I started to get older in high school, I didn't mind when books were like, when we were told we had to read certain books. Because I know sometimes that can be a turnoff where you're like, well, I don't want to be told what I have to read. But I happen to like most of the books that we were told we had to read. I guess I just got lucky, like with the certain classes that I was in. Judy Blume and Beverly Cleary, Roald Dahl. Yeah, those are all great ones. I didn't get to read the rest of your comment. It like disappears really fast, but we will definitely go back and read all of the comments.
For sure.
But yeah, when I was in high school, the book that I really globbed onto, well, actually, I should say two of them. I would say The Great Gatsby for a classic, and I'm not a big classics fan
It's a good one.
but I really enjoyed it in high school, and it was like a pretty short book, and it's one that I would like to revisit. I think I have read it. I want to say I've read it again, but it was like early adulthood, and now I'm like in my upper 30s, so it's probably time for me to like reread it again. But I really liked it. I think we maybe saw the movie together.
Oh yeah.
I loved the movie. So that's a good one. And then The Lovely Bones, Alice Sebold, I think is the author for that one. I really enjoyed that book. Very disturbing, but I think that's what actually got me into like thrillers. I don't even know if you would call that one a thriller, but it's really actually very creepy. But I don't think it would be horror. So I'm not really sure what it would be categorized as, but it was very disturbing. But I did like the book. And I saw the movie for that one too. But those are the ones that really, I don't know, like are prominent in my head. I don't know about you. But,
yeah. So like for me, I have had many stages of reading, but I want to talk about what got me back into reading. So like this was like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So Katie was obviously been into reading for a long time, and I wasn't quite there yet. But there was a book that got me back into reading. It was actually, ironically, was a book from Book of the Month. Katie was putting in her order for the month, and I kind of wanted to pick one out. So she read me the things.
I was like, oh, I want to read it too.
And there was one that she read, and I was like, that's the book I'm going to read. And it was a book called Shark Heart by Emily Haybick. And it's a very interesting book.
It was an interesting read for you to get back into reading, but I don't know.
And it was classified as a love story, but it also has magical realism as the main character actually mutates into a great white shark. If you've read it, let me know.
And I ended up reading it too, so we both were able to talk about it.
But that book literally blew me out of the water, pun intended. It was so good. It was such an excellent book. And after that, I was back hooked on reading. It was so well written and just so fascinating. And I had to get back in. I will credit that book for getting me back into reading in this stage of my life. Because I was out of it for many years. Many years.
Well, and you had just kind of resolved to liking nonfiction too. You were just kind of like, oh, I'll read nonfiction.
You're right. I was reading a lot of nonfiction.
And I was like, you gotta give a fiction book a try. And I'm like, oh, it's so good.
I got that book, and I'm so thankful that I did, because it was so good. I would we both 100% recommend that book.
It's in my top reads for sure for this year, because I read it right away this year.
Beautiful,
you read it kind of
beautiful
towards the
book.
end of the year.
And what's neat about that book is Emily, who wrote it, she's actually really big into playwriting. And the book was written as it was a play,
like a script
for a play.
Yeah.
And there was like chapters. It was just
the
scenes and characters, and there was
format.
The format
was really, really interesting.
So check that one out. I don't know if Book of the Month still has it, but you can find it anywhere. There's a couple of cool covers I've seen.
I kind of want the purple cover.
Yeah.
Because I like doing that sometimes now for certain books. Not all books, but the one we read is like a teal
beautiful
cover.
book.
It's still very pretty, but my favorite color is purple. So when I saw the purple cover release, I was like, I kind of want it.
So that was about a year and a half for me. I got book, and were you a reader in junior high? Yeah, for sure. Obviously, high school and junior high, like Katie was saying, like it was
when
more.
You're told you have to. Read
it was more
books.
Forced reading, and ironically, when Katie and I met, I was having one of my stages of getting back into reading. I was really big, like into T.C. Boyle. I don't know if you've heard of him, but I was reading a lot. And when we met, for some reason, I stopped reading.
I know, because I was like, I would like to know the Corey who reads, because
and that stage,
I was told by however many people, like his family members and whoever, that he used to be a reader, and I was like, oh, well, dang.
But when we met, neither of us.
But then I wasn't like
so
next level obsessed with it when we met. Like I had a pretty decent collection of books, but not compared to what we have now. That's for sure.
Yeah. But definitely was a reader in high school. I mean, but it was more like To Kill a Mockingbird, like George Orwell's 1984, Perks of Being a Wallflower. Some of those books, which I did very much like, and obviously.
Yeah.
But this stage of my life right now is the most I've ever been into reading. And I credit Katie for that, and I credit everyone on the Instagram and on the social medias, because reading exploded during COVID.
Especially, yep.
And I'm so thankful for that. And I
the,
know
whole Bookstagram community on Instagram.
so
Yeah.
it's just been so awesome to get to know everyone on the socials. And I feel like, you know, it's cool again. Reading is now cool again. And hopefully it stays cool forever because we're both hooked, you know?
Yep.
And buying books and ordering books and talking about books is like the best thing ever.
Yep.
But
pretty much. But yeah, I don't know if you have any other questions. Otherwise, I think we'll sign off. We've chatted your ears off. But thank you for those of you who tuned in and commented and everything. We will go back and check out comments that we missed.
yeah,
sure.
they like disappear.
They
like,
disappear really fast.
fade
I don't know
away.
why that happens.
The tail.
The tail.
Ooh.
Is that's a book?
Yeah, who wrote that one?
I'm guessing.
Yeah, if you have book recommendations, if you haven't yet, give this, the tail end of this was great.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, give this a thumbs up, please, if you haven't yet. That helps. And so this is live, but you can go back and watch
Go back
it.
and watch it if you want.
It will upload it to itself, so you can go back.
Yes, please
Oh,
do.
please
Please
do.
do. And use my
Use the code. You can get your first.
you can see
for
it in the description,
$4.
but it's a love for life and literacy. I know that's like really long, but it's all caps. And yeah, you can get your first book for $4, and then hopefully you love them and want to keep getting more books from them.
Yeah, I have a feeling you're gonna love them. I mean, obviously
there's probably some months that maybe won't pique your interest as much, but what's great is just like book of the month, you can skip. I don't know if you can I'm not sure if you can pause it. I don't know that for sure. So I'd have to check into that. Or you might be able to find that information for yourself too under their frequently asked questions on their website. But I know that you can skip. I've never wanted to skip. I've at the very least found one book that I was excited about. So
thank you for streaming. Thank you. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in.
It was very fun. Good interaction tonight. So we will go live again in 5 episodes.
Our other episodes will just be our regularly filmed
if you want to go back and watch some of those, that'd be great.
We'll post them.
We are trying to get going on YouTube. We're almost at 1,400 subscribers, which is pretty amazing. I'm very thankful for that. And really, we need those watching. We need people to watch our videos, this one included. And this afternoon.
Well, that's cool.
Well, thank you for joining us on Instagram and on here. We're also on TikTok and the Twitter, also known as X.
No X.
But thank you for watching, and just watch the videos. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and tell your friends.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. And we will talk to you next time.
See you in the next one.